Good morning, everyone. It's been a while again. I had lots of visitors here over the weekend, and lots of things were being done. And one thing was, interestingly enough, about a week ago, I mentioned to my daughter, said, now, if you children all want to get together again for my birthday and Christmas, which is really close together, I would really like to have a little watering filter system. Just the that ketadine filter, where it has the clay uh, cylinders in it, and you can put puddle water in there, and it comes out as drinking water. And we had one of those for, oh gosh, 15 years or even longer. And okay, they're amazing. They're amazing, and they last and they last and they last. And the city water here, or the water that comes through, it's just not, when you've been spoiled like I have with an underground spring and then have that filter through, it, it's just no comparison. And so I thought, man, I would really like, that's one thing that I still need here. Just a small camping one. Unbelievable how expensive they are now. And when we checked out the price, I said, you know what, forget it. I'll make do with whatever, and no. So, besides, you can always take rainwater and filter that somewhat, so it's clean, and then boil it, and then you got good water too. But anyway, that hasn't anything added to it. Blah, 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 blah. So, I don't know, my daughter must have talked to my son-in-law, and he's like, goes out and he gets a whole watering system, filter system for the house, which was half the price of that little tiny little thing that I wanted, which again, I think that's ridiculous. It's $350-$70 for a small camping unit, okay? That's, I don't know, I mean, that's ridiculous. And how the prices went up, okay, within so many years for something like that. So he goes out and for half the price, he buys this whole watering system for the whole house to filter the water through a coal filter, another sediment filter, then another. Anyway, so so my husband came down and they put it in together, and it took all weekend to do that. And and then they got into fixing one of the rocking chairs, which almost fell apart. Not one that my father-in-law made. They don't fall apart. There's no way they fall apart. Anyway, so it was the whole weekend was just about this and that. I don't know what, and so didn't get the chance. Why not? Early in the morning. Well, you'd be surprised who shows up here early in the morning sometimes. So so it's great. So the filter is in, and we're all noticing already the difference in taste of the water. It's completely different. So wow, yeah, yes, how wonderful. Uh oh, my excuse for not having made any of the videos. Yeah, I told you guys before, I'm procrastinating through these books. It's just ugh. It's just you end up not knowing what to talk about. So I talk about my life, right? What am I doing? Oh, so yeah. And for about a week now, as well, we've noticed that when my daughter comes out early in the morning, and there's a light that comes on, so one can see. There's all these grubs cruising around. They're huge grubs, perfect for fishing, I have no doubt. And they're just everywhere. And they're like, oh, golly, And although everywhere, there are probably about 50 of them cruising around everywhere. And my daughter's just grossed out about these girls. She's just, this is just, what is that now? This is such an interesting lawn here. First, we had the Japanese beetles everywhere, okay? And they don't do anything. They're just there, and they didn't destroy my garden or anything. But there were hundreds of them. Mating season, and they loved this lawn. Didn't see it anywhere else. Only on our lawn here, at the front lawn. And then after that, it was these little black. They look like wasps. They're absolutely non-violent. Okay, they really only sting, or they don't attack you, or during none of the times of the year. They're the least lethal, and they're very friendly wasps, or look like wasps. Have to literally step on one or something to get bit or stung. So they were around doing their thing here for about a week. It always is about a week, 10 days, and now it's these grubs. And I thought, man. So I told my daughter, I said, let's get a couple of chickens. Next time we go to the farm, let's get those two pullets that managed to survive, and get those down here and have a couple of chickens. And I have a discarded little chicken coop as well. We could put at the back of the house here. Very simple, nothing complicated. And if you clip their wings, which does not hurt them, but then they can't fly as chickens fly. They can fly quite high and far. And they could get over the fence here. But if we clip their wings every so often, about every 6 months or something, they can't fly. So it's not a big deal, right, to have some chickens. And anyway, and that they can't get out. So I said, my daughter says, well, she says, I don't know, that would kind of be, I said, we would have some eggs too then. And they would eat all this stuff. Gosh, I don't think we would have to feed them much with all them bugs around and this and that. Anywho, so I told my son-in-law, I said, hey, how would you feel about getting a couple of chickens? And he's like, I don't think we're allowed to have chickens within city limits here. Right? I'm going, oh, okay, well, he says, yeah, that's not, it's not permitted. And I kind of went with it for almost a week. And then today I thought, I'm going to go check that out. And sure enough, you are allowed to have chickens, 4 of them within so many, 10,000 square feet. And we've got that here, no problem. And you are allowed to have 4 chickens. Well, isn't that something? All right. Why did I bring all that up? Well, to us here, this family, my whole family, we're big water drinkers. Drink a lot of water. We drink more water than we drink juice, or I haven't seen a pop can here with just pop, and there just isn't any. And it is my other daughter's the same. But everybody drinks water. Everyone drinks water. And to have a good water source, I think, good tasting water is important then. Yes, it's worth the investment. So there is that. And considering that there are 2 children here and they drink a lot of water, well, the little one is on milk, and mommy's milk and this and that, but eventually that will be she will be introduced to is water. And it is such an important part of our system. So good water is important. Yes, well, people have money for all kinds of other stuff. So, to have good water in your home should be a priority. Then, with the chickens, oh man, that would be just perfect to take care of some of these bugs and stuff. And I went and got my own information. I could have just gone with what somebody else said, which a lot of people do. Right? Instead of, well, but why wouldn't I be able to do that? Or is that really the truth? I've said this before, go and get your own information. Right? Yes? And don't get discouraged by someone also not knowing. But then we follow their guidance. Or And again, it took a week, right, for me to finally go in and, okay, I'm going to go and check this out. Right? But I don't have a cell phone with me all the time. I don't have this tablet with me all the time. It's here most of the time I am spending in the house, right, in the other house. So I don't have it handy when I think about it. But everybody else is walking around with their cell phones all the time. And nobody took it as, oh, yeah, let's go and check out. Could we have chickens or not? Do you know what I mean? So all this information is available out there to people at any second that they want it, because they got a device with them that will tell them immediately, right? Yes? And yet, there's so many people out there walking around with all this false information or non-information that then they give to somebody else. Yes? Interesting? I'm just saying. Right? Yes? Anyway, so proud of myself. I went and checked it out. Now I can go and say, hey, if you guys are interested, let's get a couple of chickens from the farm. Bring that little chicken house down here. And there you go. Feed our chickens all them grubs and I don't know what. It's going towards winter, so we probably have to wait till next year again. But chickens, even in the winter, and here it doesn't get as cold. Well, it gets as cold, but not for as long, right? And this and that. All right. So, chickens are really, really hardy. They don't need much in the wintertime. I've told these stories way long time ago in other videos on how most of our chickens roosted in trees, even in -degree weather. Okay, and they were fine. Nobody fell out of the trees. Like after this, oh, chickens can fall out of the tree if it gets really cold. I'm going, yeah, maybe in the Antarctic, but it's not happening here. So anyway, very hardy animals. Okay, they love being outside, free. They don't want to be locked up, really. Anyway, so we'll see. Okay, so let's get going here in the second book of Maccabees, the first campaign of Lysias 11. Almost immediately afterwards, Lysias, the king's tutor and cousin, chief minister of the realm, much disturbed at the turn of events, mustered about 80,000 foot soldiers and his entire cavalry and advanced against the Jews, intending to make the city a place for Greeks to live in. But he didn't have enough room to live in? That's just another excuse. He did it. To levy a tax on the temple as on other national shrines, and to put the office of high priest up for sale every year. Yeah, man. Sounds good, doesn't it? Gosh. He took no account at all of the power of God, being sublimely confident in his tens of thousands of infantrymen, his thousands of cavalry, and his 80 elephants. And that is one of the sad things. What is he putting his trust in? In people just following him into slaughter? Or to slaughter? Okay. Invading Judea, he approached Bethsur, a fortified position about 20 miles from Jerusalem, and began to subject it to strong pressure. What does that mean? He's going after the civilians? Well, bleh. When Maccabees, see, I'm already, my gosh, Father, please just help me get through these books. Well, then don't procrastinate and get going. When Maccabees and his men learned that Lysias was besieging the fortresses, so Maccabees again here is who? That would be Judas. They and the populace with them begged the Lord with lamentation and tears to send a good angel to save Israel. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Didn't we just hear before that they feel that the reason they get invaded every time is because they sin themselves? Oh, but they asked God the last time, right, when they redid the temple, had the big old feast, this and that for 7 days? Oh, be lenient with us. Have mercy. Let the punishment be. So what? Have they started to sin again? So here, that's why Lysias is coming now again? I mean, hello. Don't know. But here they are. They want to, please save us. Maccabees himself was the first to take up his weapons, and he urged the rest to risk their lives with him in support of their brothers. So they sallied out resolutely as one man. They were still near Jerusalem when a rider attired in white appeared at their head, brandishing golden weapons. Okay. So I wonder, so how many people did he have? It doesn't say. We know how much the enemies had, how many people the enemy had and got together, but we have no idea how many people Judas has now to go to war with. I find this weird. Why not give me both accounts? With one accord, they all blessed the God of mercy and found themselves filled with such a courage that they were ready to lay low not men only, but the fiercest beasts. What? With one accord, they all blessed the God of mercy and found themselves filled with such a courage that they were ready to lay low not men only, but the fiercest beasts and walls of iron. Oh, I got it. Okay. Oh, that was a weird one. They advanced in battle order with the aid of their celestial ally, the Lord having had mercy on them. Charging like lions on the enemy, they laid low 11. They laid low. Is that another way? They killed 11,000 of the infantry, slaughtered. They laid low 11,000. Wow. That tells me that whoever wrote this down must have been somewhat of a poet. 11,000 of the infantry and 1,600 horsemen, and routed all the rest. Of those, the majority got away, wounded and weaponless. Lysias himself escaped only by ignominious flight. All right, so we got. I find it interesting on how it escalates from God guiding them to now we've got some dude on a white horse or in white clothes with golden weapons. Okay, you know what? Oh my gosh. Just give me a break here. Lysias makes peace with the Jews. 4 letters concerning the treaty. The other thing also about that, usually, okay, when these kind of things have happened in the past, there was a name attached to the messengers of God. Right? Yes, mainly. Here is just some what? Hey, that should tell us something. That's a storytelling. Okay. All right. Lysias makes peace with the Jews. 4 letters concerning the treaty. Now, Lysias was not lacking in intelligence. Oh, really? And as he reflected on the reverse he had just suffered, he realized that the Hebrews were invincible because the mighty God fought for them. He therefore sent them a delegation to persuade them to accept reasonable terms all around and promised to compel the king to become their friend. Oh, Maccabees, thinking only of the common good, agreed to all that Lysias proposed, and whatever Maccabees submitted to Lysias in writing concerning the Jews was granted by the king. Now, what does that matter? Why doesn't he just go back? Be happy in the territory that he has. Take care of the people, this and that. Why do they even need to have, let's become friends? What for? It's not going to last anyway. Yeah? That's just an excuse again to, okay. I mean, here is Lysias. He goes and invades some other people. Then he gets driven back. And then he wants to become friends. What for exactly? Why not just, okay, that didn't work. So how about we just don't go there anymore? Or again, it was in that territory something that everybody wanted. And so the people that actually were there need to be eliminated. What is this religious war stuff going on constantly with the temple, this and that? What is that exactly? I'm not getting it when it comes down to it. It's weird. Anyway, so intelligence was not lacking in. So Lysias was not lacking in intelligence. Okay, I don't know where intelligence comes in here. It's just scheming. Here is the text of the letter Lysias wrote to the Jews. I think. Lysias to the Jewish people. Greetings, the Jewish people. But the Jewish people never saw this letter. John and Absalom, your envoys, have delivered to me the communication transcribed below, requesting me to approve its provisions. What is that now? It didn't say anything about that above. They had sent envoys? Who? The Jews? Maccabees? Judas? Anything requiring the king's attention I have put before him. Whatever was possible I have granted. Oh, how gracious. Provided you maintain your goodwill towards the interests of the state. And what is that? I shall do my best in the future to promote your well-being. Since when are the losers of a war? What? See, something does not compute here quite right. As regards the details, I have given orders for your envoys and my own officials to discuss these with you. May you prosper. The 24th day of Dioscorus in the year 148. The king's letter ran as follows. King Antiochus to his brother Lysias, greetings. Now that our father has taken his place among the gods, our will is that the subjects of the realm be left undisturbed to attend to their own affairs. We understand that the Jews do not approve our father's policy, the adoption of Greek customs, but prefer their own way of life and ask to be allowed to observe their own laws. Accordingly, since we intend this people to be free from vexation like any other, our ruling is that the temple be restored to them, and that they conduct their affairs according to the customs of their ancestors. Wait a minute. Didn't they already have that? If they didn't already have that, why would Lysias go and make war on them? It will, therefore, be our concern to send them a mission of friendship, so that on learning our policy they may have confidence and happily go about their business. Okay. The king's letter to the Jewish nation was in these terms. King Antiochus to the Jewish Senate and the rest of the Jews, greetings. If you are well, that is as we would wish. We ourselves are in good health. Oh, okay. Menelaus informs us that you wish to return home and attend to your own affairs. Well, where are they? Aren't they already home? Accordingly, all those who return before the 30th day of Xanthicus may rest assured that they have nothing to fear. Before. Afterwards, get a fear? Okay. The Jews may make use of their own kind of food and their own laws as formerly, and none of them is to be molested in any way for any unwitting offenses. I am in fact sending Menelaus to set your minds at rest. Farewell. The 15th day of Xanthicus in the year 148. God. Hey, right, there's more. The Romans also sent the Jews a letter which read as follows. Quintus, Memmius, Titus, Manilius, Manius Sergius, legates of the Romans to the people of the Jews. Greetings. Greetings, my granddaughter. How are you? I am almost done, I think. Are you going out there pretty soon? You missed the first bus, didn't you? Yeah, okay.
I wanted to this morning. I wanted to. I didn't want to get on it.
You were tired? Did you go to bed late?
No.
No. Okay. Well, let me know when you go out. I'll come out with you. Whatever Lysias, the king's cousin, has granted you, we also approve. Oh, really? The Greeks and the Romans working together? Okay. As for the matters he decided to refer to the king, consider them carefully and send someone without delay. If we are to interpret them, what the heck is this now? To your advantage, because we are leaving for Antioch. Lose no time, therefore, in sending us those who can tell us what your intentions are. Farewell. The 15th day of Dioscorus in the year 148. And that's the end of 11. Okay. I don't even know what to say to all this. Oh, well, no, I said plenty, didn't I? I made fun of it. I didn't make fun of it. I did. maybe somebody else gets this better than I do. To me, this is just all. First of all, I thought the second book of Maccabees had more to do with the well-being, or the kind of give us a little bit of an insight on what the commoners are doing. How are they faring? This and that. But it's again just all happening where? Is this all happening? Oh yeah. Oh wait a minute. Oh, to the Jewish leaders and the Jews, the rest of the population, the people of really? No, it's all just happening where? Huh? And they're what are they doing? Stroking each other's backs, and then and then when nobody's looking, oh, let's get another army together. Yeah, let's go and invade them again. Or I'm not even. This is just also fake to me. Okay. When it comes to the sincerity of the people, the leaders, the kings, the whoever is in charge. Right? Anyway, it's just, and it has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with God. Nothing. Hmm? Now, yep, we read what 2 or 3 times that horsemen came out of the sky, all in white, golden armor, da 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 da. Hello, what is that all about now? Just saying. Anyway, so there it is. Done. Oh, yeah. And just to go back to the beginning of 11 here, the first campaign of Lysias, so obviously isn't done, right? Yes? Though, what have we just read about all the letters that were sent everywhere to the Jews? And of course, this is backtracking again. We've already read it, even though a lot of it sounds totally new to me. How come they never mentioned anything about these horsemen in the first book of Maccabees? Because the time frame, obviously, they're overlapping each other, right? In both books are, right? Yes? Yeah. Okay. Where there is great confusion and you can't see through, right, the tree through the forest, right, then that serves a lot of people out there. Well, keep the confusion going. There's a lot of stuff going on out there again, and I've already seen different accounts of these different accounts, and to me, it's all just, well, okay. So the next conspiracy looks like hams out there challenging a squirrel. There's a few squirrels. They have their nests in these trees. They're huge oak trees here, and the cats too. They go underneath it. They're not cats that go and climb trees or anything. They're city cats and city dogs. But the squirrels and the interaction that they have with each other, with the cats and the dogs, is interesting. It's like the squirrel saying, "Don't you dare! You better move on." And Ham's sitting there going, "Oh yeah, make me." It's funny to watch. Okay. Anyway, again, if one wants to have, if you're just listening to people and they're just telling you whatever, and you're going, okay, well, hope things will work out for everybody out there, then that's one thing. But if one wants to have then a conversation with someone else and have something to say about it, make sure that you got the proper information. That's all I'm saying. Yes? And again, how much time does it take to just go and say, okay, did that really happen? Oh, it doesn't look like it actually happened that way. It did happen, but not quite that way. Yes? Yeah. Anywho. That is that. Oh. I have today off. I'm not. Well, I will be with the little one anyway, too. But we started weeding and taking care of the front lawn. Remember that my daughter and my son-in-law, they just bought this house. Not even a year ago. They haven't been here 4 seasons yet. So So, and then, of course, with my daughter being pregnant and the baby being born, and then, moving into a new home as well, this and that, and both working, there is, you have time to do the minimum when it comes to, the outside and this and that. And so just now they're being able to start to kind of pay some attention to all that. And, and, uh, and so we started in the front of the house with it's got beautiful places for a nice to do some, okay, I'm going to gardening or put flowers, and of course to me it's always, well, why waste uh, your time, effort, and money planting things that you can't eat, right? Yeah. That's me, right? So I'm already thinking, well, she has some hostas plants out there. And I thought, these are good. They're edible, but this is a different type. So I have to first check out, are they edible, right? And so there is that. And then there's all kinds of other stuff, that then you can plant. And there's a friend of hers that's helping us a little too. And she says, so what do you think we could plant in as flowers, here in the fall now to still have someone going, yeah, you're asking the wrong person about that. I said, I don't know much about flowers when it comes down to it. And she says, oh, I bet you do. I said, yeah, I know. No, it's true. But ask me about vegetables, I know that stuff. And so I said, so what we could plant out there, just to use the ground until springtime, where then you can plant other things that look more pretty or whatever. I said, let's plant some mustard greens, and and lettuce. And that's still, you can still plant that. It doesn't take much for lettuce to come up and have it as spring greens. Okay, spring greens basically means just short. It doesn't have to grow into a big old lettuce or anything. And the mustard greens, they love this kind of weather right now. And my daughter looks at me, she says, Mom, just go ahead and do whatever you want. I might turn the whole front yard also into a vegetable garden. That would make sense to me. Just saying. Anyway, I think what would be really, really cool would be to plant in the spring there instead of, as I said again, flower stuff that. Okay, is I have some elephant ears, the edible variety that where you can eat the bulbs. Uh, and I brought some with me, and I'd like to plant those. And it takes a couple of years to multiply this and that until you can actually start to harvest a little. And my daughter said, "Oh yeah, I would love that." And then I thought, sunflowers be cool to have out there, right? Yes, sunflowers again. I've mentioned that in a video a long time ago as well. Sunflowers, the whole flower is an amazing. Besides that, they are just that's my favorite flower. Sunflowers are just absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. And I love on how, if you ever watched a sunflower, uh, if you if if you watch a sunflower when it comes up in the ground, they turn their heads at night towards where the sun comes up, and then they follow the sun all the way until it goes back down. Isn't that amazing? Ah. The heads do once they come up. Then of course sunflower seeds. Sunflower seeds are diuretic, so it gets if you have water in your body, and eat a lot of sunflower seeds. Yes, because it makes your water exposed to extra water. Yes, yeah, don't do that if you are already dehydrated. The petals and the leaves of the sunflowers, but especially the petals, right, are a natural fever reducer, and especially good for babies. Yes, right. Again, sunflower, right? What a beautiful name for a flower, anyway. So, and the leaves as well can be made into a tea, and also has its benefits. Is that something? Yes. And then, of course, once the flower is all done, the seeds are out, the snap, the head of the sunflower, you can dry those and make beautiful decorations. Just saying, yeah. Oh. What an amazing plant, right? Anyway, my daughter loves sunflowers, so. But I was going to say something else, what I wanted to plant out there. I forgot. Oh, herbs. So I thought there's one spot. It looks totally overgrown, this snap. I can see through it. And I said, oh, this was actually a spot that they also had designed for something. Right? So I'm going to clear all that out, and I'm going to have our herb garden there. That's what I'm going to do. The whole one side of the house. Yes. Yeah, isn't that something? Okay. So I'm going to make sure it's edible. That's the only thing. that will be the only reason I'd be willing to go and read anything. Oh, are you going out? I am just about done here. I gotta go. I'm gonna go and send off my oldest granddaughter on the bus. Yes. Yep. 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 All right. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you and embrace you with love. And I will talk to y'all, God willing, tomorrow.